doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. Okay, so today's game is a cult classic from the NES days. It's from 1989, and it was developed by David Crane and the folks at Imagineering. It was published in the U.S. by Absolute Entertainment. This was probably one of the few really well-known titles that they did on the NES. And this title has developed such a cult following over the years that in 2009, it spawned a remake of sorts from the folks at Way Forward for the Wii. Today's game is a really innovative title in terms of how you use more than one character in a game, and the way those two characters work in conjunction with each other to get through different environments. Today's game is A Boy And His Blob, Trouble in Blobalonia. Okay, so in this game you play as the boy who has to assist his alien blob friend, whom I just found out was named Blobbert. Yeah, Blobbert. In finding the necessary items on Earth to return to his home planet of Blobalonia and defeat an evil emperor who's taken over and put all of the inhabitants of the planet on a steady diet of sweets. Now, for a kid, this might not be a bad thing, but we all know what too much of a good thing will cause. A Boy and His Blob is a really cool title because by himself the boy wouldn't be able to do anything. He can't really jump. He only moves left to right, and when he does jump, if he falls too far, he dies. He can't swim, things like that. He's a really, really weak character by conventional standards, but with the Blob as an assist character of sorts, he becomes more formidable. And that's because the Blob has a really interesting characteristic. If you feed it different flavors of jelly beans, it turns into different items. Some jelly beans turn the Blob into a hole, some turn him into a trampoline, some into a ladder, parachute, things like that. A bubble so you can travel underwater, stuff like that. And without those jelly beans, the Blob can't transform, and he's virtually as useless as the boy is. Throughout the game, this game is also real cool because it's a series of single screens. It doesn't really scroll per se. You go from one screen to another depending on which direction you go. The game automatically transfers to that screen. It doesn't scroll gradually. It's kind of jarring, but that's the way this game is designed. It has a really heavy PC feel to it, actually. And while some people, and that may be why it wasn't received well by some folks during its initial run on the NES, because it has that PC feel to it. Now, what's cool about another cool aspect of this game is that during the course of the game, you start out with a set number of jelly beans, but you can collect more. You collect peppermints, you get more lives, you get treasure and things like that. You can use those to buy items, and if you find vitamins, you can use them to power a Vita Blaster, or use them in a Vita Blaster once you make it back to Blobalonia. Towards the end of the game, you do go back to the Blob's home world. It's a cool title. I will say that the Wii remake is a great deal more polished, but you see the immense amount of innovation and the immense amount of polish in David Crane's original. And I heartily recommend that you play the original A Boy and His Blob, Trouble in Blobalonia, because it is an awesome title. This has been 8-Bit Animal. And I will catch you beautiful people